Here's something nobody tells you about high school. The kids who seem to have the biggest friend groups? Most of them didn't find their group.
They built it. On purpose.
Using a pattern almost nobody notices. And the kids who feel invisible, the ones eating lunch alone, scrolling their phones so it looks like they're busy, they're not missing charisma. They're not missing luck. They're missing 3 specific moves. Once you see them, you can't unsee them. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what they are. Actually, one of my subscribers asked me to make this video. They said they're tired of wandering around high school feeling like the only person without a group. Walking the halls, sitting alone, watching everyone else laugh at some inside joke you're not part of. If you've ever felt that, this video is for you. And if there's another topic you want me to break down, comment it below. Your comment could be the next video. So why does this happen? Why do some people end up in the center of a group, and others end up on the outside looking in? Here's the psychology, in plain English. Human brains are wired to bond over repeated shared experience, not personality.
That's it.
That's the secret. You don't become friends with someone because you're likable. You become friends with someone because you keep showing up in the same place, at the same time, doing the same low-stakes thing, and your brain quietly logs it as safe. Psychologists call this the mere exposure effect. The more your brain sees a face without anything bad happening, the more it trusts that face. Groups form the same way. They're not exclusive clubs. They're just people who happen to repeat contact enough times to relax around each other. Which means the lonely kid and the popular kid aren't different species. One of them is just further along in the repetition process. The bad news? Nobody explains this, so kids interpret it wrong. The good news? Once you know the mechanism, you can work it, instead of waiting for it to happen to you. But that's just the why. The real leverage is in 3 specific signs, and the third one is the one almost nobody notices until it's too late. Sign number 1, the proximity illusion. Here's what it looks like in real life. You assume friend groups are formed in dramatic moments, a deep conversation, a shared crisis, some movie-style bonding scene.
They're not.
Most groups form in boring, repeated proximity. The same seat in class, the same bus stop, the same lunch table corner. Here's how to use it. Stop looking for the perfect moment to make a move. Instead, pick one low-stakes spot, a class, a club, a lunch table, and show up there consistently, for at least 3 weeks. Don't force conversation every time. Just be a repeated, familiar presence. Familiarity does the emotional work before you even open your mouth. Sign number 2, the contribution signal. Groups don't invite people in because they're interesting. They invite people in because that person makes the group function better. Watch closely and you'll notice. The person who gets pulled into a group is usually the one who remembers a detail, laughs at the right moment, offers to help, or adds one small thing to the conversation. Not the person performing the hardest to be noticed. Here's how to use it. Instead of trying to impress people, look for one small way to add value. Remember something someone said last week, offer a genuine compliment, help with a small task. Small contributions build what psychologists call social credit, and social credit is what actually earns you a seat at the table. And here's the one they never see coming. Sign number 3, the rejection buffer. Most people who struggle to make friends aren't actually being rejected. They're rejecting themselves first, by reading neutral behavior as hostile. Someone doesn't wave back fast enough? They hate me. Someone's talking to their other friend? I'm being excluded. This is called negative attribution bias. Your brain, trying to protect you from a repeat of an old hurt, starts inventing rejection that isn't actually there. Here's how to use it. Before assuming you're being excluded, ask yourself, is there actual evidence, or am I filling in a gap with my worst fear? Most of the time, people aren't thinking about you nearly as much as you think. That awkward silence isn't a verdict. It's just silence. This one sign, catching your own mind before it convicts you, is often the real difference between staying stuck and breaking through. So let's bring it together. Groups aren't formed by luck, and they're not reserved for the naturally confident. They're built on 3 things: repeated proximity, small contribution, and controlling your own self-rejection loop. That means this was never actually about whether people like you. It was about whether you understood the mechanism. And now you do. So the next time you walk into that hallway, you're not the kid without a group anymore. You're the kid who knows exactly how groups are made. If this helped you see things differently, subscribe, and drop your next topic request in the comments. I read every single one.